It's not that smoky and phenolic and medicinal as the 10-year-old is. This is not that intense. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we are again at Laphroaig. Yeah, I had quite a few of them already here in front of the camera, and today we have the Quarter Cask. It's on the market, well, I think for 10 years or so. No, not that long. 8 years, 7 years. And it was the successor of the 10-year-old, which is still on the market and is the most often sold single malt whiskey from Laphroaig. But this one comes later, or came later, and, well, it's a gem. It's a gem between all those extremely smoky Islay malts, because they are matured not only in these ex-bourbon casks. Laphroaig is famous for. Those ex-bourbon casks have typically 200 or 208 liters, which is 52 gallons, I think. But they are also matured afterwards, finished in so-called quarter casks. And the quarter casks are smaller casks. What are they doing? They are taking those ex-bourbon casks and remove half of the staves, so that the casks get smaller. They have new rings on them, and now they are looking like a long pipe. The diameter is smaller, and in the past years, or in the past centuries, I would like to say, in the past centuries, one produced casks with a minimum amount of oak to contain the maximum of liquid, because it was cheaper. You could spare oak, which was expensive. And therefore, these American standard barrels have the size they have, out of this reason. But you put a lot of whiskey in them, and the contact to the little oak wood on the walls is quite light, or not that intense. You need a long time to transfer the compounds, the tasting compounds, from the staves into the whiskey. And with these quarter casks, you change that. You have approximately half the amount of oak, but the content is only a quarter, so-called. Not quite true. In those quarter casks are around 20 to 150 liters each, which means 30 to 40 gallon. But the relationship between length and diameter is not oak sparing. It's a lot of oak for little whiskey in it. So the maturation in those quarter casks is fast, and therefore they only have a finishing period of around 6 months with these oak casks. Where did those quarter casks come from? Well, this was from the time where whiskey was carried on mules. And those long quarter casks, those pipes, you could have one each on each side of the mule. This whiskey carries no age statement, I'm afraid. So it might be younger, at least 3 years and a day, but hopefully it's 5 to 7 years, who knows. And then this finishing period in those quarter casks. And those quarter casks are from American oak also. One might suggest that those casks at Laphroaig, which are used a third time, smoke, for a third time, will bring, quite light matured whiskey with less oak influence. And if you use the first and second fill casks for the typical 10-year-old, then you might use the third fill casks for refilling those quarter casks and then adding in a short time a lot of extra flavor and bring those light matured casks up to a full strong level. Yeah, that's what I would do. I have no idea if they use those multiple use casks for the quarter cask. And I'm afraid Laphroaig still puts color in this whiskey to adjust the color to the different batches. It's not that smoky and phenolic and medicinal as the 10-year-old is. This is not that intense. Whoa! There is smoke, ash, phenols, fire, and in the back some sweetness, some banana sweetness. Ripe, overripe bananas you cut in your muesli for your breakfast. And it's told there's some coconut flavor, but I'm still looking for vanilla coming up, some caramel, this light sweetness. Yeah, it's more in it than in the typical 10-year-old, which shines with this intense smokiness, and this shows more depth, beginning spiciness. Mm-hmm. 48%, quite a lot. Big impact in your mouth. And sweetness coming up, this banana sweetness, now going over to honey, fruity sweetness. The aftertaste is becoming drier, yeah. Still this ash in the aftertaste, and there's no sherry influence. Whoever thinks that a quarter cask is finished in sherry casks, no, that's not true. It's American oak used for the quarter casks. So you press in American oak aroma in a short time with these small casks in the typical Laphroaig whiskey. And the Laphroaig has pot stills which have a very constricted part above the pot, below the long neck. And this constriction leads to a very stable fume column on top of the boiling liquid. And this divides the tastes very good inside this column. And therefore, Laphroaig is, from the taste, very smooth. It's only from the aroma quite sharp and harsh. And this one is, even carrying no age statement, it's, I'm afraid, the better Laphroaig than the 10-year-old. Mouth-watering spiciness from the oak. The alcohol is carrying the taste, forcing it in your mouth. Yeah. Whenever you you like smoky whiskey, this is a must. You have to have one of these bottles sometimes in your life. So there's no way around this bottle. It's a definite must. Thank you for watching. There's more to come. The later brother of this bottle, the Treblewood, is waiting here at my cask. And come again, there's more to see. And if you would like to discuss this bottle with me, do so on our vlog on